Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Soulmates Solutions, and on this channel I film about faith, marriage, motherhood, all that wholesome content kind of stuff. And today guys, we have a guest. Are you guys ready to meet our guest? You can already tell by the thumbnail, but today I have with me the Bunmi George. Thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
We are so pumped, so excited. To Solutions, please make our welcome in the comments first.
It's been a long time coming.
I know. So a tiny bit of backdrop. We actually met physically this year.
Yes.
Oh wow.
March.
And it feels like we've been friends for a long time. Well, we're going to talk about friendship today, okay? We met physically this year, and the first time we met, a lot of you guys saw it on Instagram and were like, you guys, nothing for YouTube. And I know you actually replied someone saying, not every time content.
Sometimes just,
chill and relax, and I feel like that's real. But this is a perfect time for you to come on the channel and bless us with your from your well of wisdom.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
And she's a Team Solutions.
Yay!
So if you would just give us a bit of introduction about yourself.
Okay.
We know you, but we just want to hear from you.
Solutions crew. So my name is Bunmi George. Most people know me as J Booms on Instagram. Some people know me as Shredder because I own Shredder Gang. I am a wife of one.
The captain. Thank you, captain.
And I have two powerful boys. And I really just love life. I love to be happy and joyful. I love love. I love God. I love good friendships, like what we're talking about today. I just like to have fun and just, enjoy my life, enjoy your life. That's it. That's me in a nutshell.
Oh, so good to have you again. Thank you so much. So Team Solutions, as you can already tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about female friendships. Adult female friendships, female adult friendships. You call it anything you want to call it. But to be honest, I'm also here to learn today. No jokes. And maybe we should give just a tiny backdrop about how our friendship started. A tiny backdrop so that you can build up the momentum.
Should I go or should you go?
No, you go.
Okay. So I think it was during the lockdown 2020, and you're friends with one of my really good friends, one of my core members. We'll talk about core. And your friends with her. So she always talk about you. I remember she spoke about you around your wedding to say, my friend's getting married, I'm going XYZ. So I already heard about her, but I hadn't seen her on Instagram or anything like that. In fact, I don't even think I knew that you had a YouTube channel. And then one day, you have a lot of time in lockdown. I was just scrolling through YouTube, and one of her videos popped up. I was like, who is this? Soulmates Solutions. So I just clicked on it. So I don't even remember I remember the video. She was working out. It was a video between her and PG. They were working and they were just gisting. I'm like, who are these guys? And we were watching. I was like, this is this babe now. This is this babe that Morinike was talking about. And then that's how it been good. I went on Instagram. Put her name in, because she had the thing come up, follow me or whatever. So I followed her, and I think maybe like the next day you followed me back, and I just used to just comment on all her videos till today. There's no video that she has that I don't comment on. I comment, and then I just and then every time then I guess we just started in the DMs. I'll always comment on your stories. I love your I still love your stories, and I always engage with people's stories. So I'll always be engaging her story. I think that's how we just started, talking, and basically our friendship just kind of organically grew from there. And then that's just basically. And when I came to Canada, I was like, I'm coming. I must see you
for your future daughter-in-law.
Yes. And then so Terry was like, her daughter is just so,
in-laws.
If
well,
you don't know,
number one on
now
the
you know.
list, okay, you're number one.
Stay clear of my so-so. And then we're just bouncing about that. I really, really love her children, and so I just love how Soteria was just so, sharp. She talk about so many different things. I'm like, this is my daughter-in-law.
Catch them young.
Me, I believe in arranged marriage.
And for me, to be honest, I look back and I look at how our friendship is right now, and I'm like, to be in my comfort zone. And I remember that was one of the conversations we had the first time we met physically. In my comfort zone, like there are people that I'm like, okay, I think based on what we see online, we might have a friendship, we can be, friends, good friends, but I don't even know if I should play the introvert card here, but there's just something. And then you went into therapy with me asking me, so did you have any friendship hurt? And then she started to, tell me about, okay, maybe something from your childhood. So I know that she's like a guru. She has so many wonderful female friendships and she's navigating them so well. And that's what we're going to delve into today. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Now, the first question I have for you is, what is your view? What comes to mind when you hear about female friendships? Like, what is your perception? What first comes to mind? Because I feel like getting that holistic view that you have will help us into your mindset about the whole thing.
Okay, so for me, in terms of female friendships, I think about community. So when I approach life, like the saying, no man is an island. It's impossible for you to function at your optimal level on your own. The same way, just like you and your spouse, I see friendship that same way. It's as important to me as my relationship with maybe not on the same level.
I understand,
but like it's close, right? And I say that I have female friends that are my soulmates. Some people will say, Boomi, that's new agey. But I want you to understand that shows the level of commitment. That you're not just go do something to me and be like, peace out, I'm out.
Oh, wow.
Because if I'm not going to do that to my husband.
I feel judged.
Right? I'm not going to do that to my husband. So I think that for me, I look at it as community. If I'm going to be fully who God has made me to be, Tolu, I need you. There are some things that are in my heart that God needs out, that only you can take it out. Can say, Boomi, I'm saying this thing about you that I don't think this is really right. Right? Or you see, Boomi, this thing that you're doing, I love it. Keep doing it. And I'm like, Tolu, are you sure? Yes, because you need people in your corner that are able to bring out the best in you and also take out the junk and the trash that you have. Because female friendships are hard.
We'll get there. And I honestly love what you said about the fact that like you won't bail on your husband at every little thing, right? So I felt that a lot.
If God has called you to do life with someone and you can't.
And I like that. That takes me to my next question. Do you think every friendship that you would have that would go on to be meaningful has to have like a spiritual undertone, or like, how some people believe that now God might not show me in a dream that is your husband, but I have peace about you? Like, what's the spiritual undertone to friendships?
I think that for me, there have been certain people who God has pinpointed in my life to say, stay close to this one or stay far away from this one, right? But it is important to feel it out. There are some times where everything you will not hear, but you can sense, you can tell that, okay, this person, she's nice, she's godly, because for me that is the basis, right? For a really strong, I'm not talking about acquaintance here, because they can be acquaintance, right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about a solid friendship that you're intentional about, because a lot of people that's another definition. Oh, this person is my friend. How is the person your friend? They're just an acquaintance, right?
Or a colleague.
Exactly. Or my neighbor or something, right? And so for me, I feel like sometimes it just starts out just like, I just like this girl. But as you keep spending time with them, you find out that, okay, God now starts to show you certain things about them that, this is a good relationship or not, right? So I feel like not every relationship would you find out at the beginning, oh yes, this is your friend, or this is not your friend, right? Sometimes you just go with the flow and allow life to do its thing, right? Because sometimes life will also show you people.
Amen.
Right? Because many times people can say they're one thing, but by the time you get close to them, you're like,
not quite.
No.
You're only this on the ground.
Exactly, right? You're only like this. But when I meet you in person, like, you gossip. You always find out when we're together, we're gossiping, we're talking down on people, and I'm just like, I don't know that I want to be close to this sort of person. So already God has already given us a brain, right? To be able to decide and choose for ourselves who we let into our lives, right? So it's not every time that God will say, I feel like the times that even God talks to me about friendship are people that really I need. Like maybe I will not kind of like, maybe so that I don't miss it.
Yeah.
You know? But a lot of the times it just kind of happens. And I let people show me who they are too.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Because a lot of times you have to study people. People hardly change, Tolu. When people, you know that saying, when people show you who they are, believe them. The first time.
Believe them.
You can give grace, so
yeah.
There's sometimes that you know that this is not this person. Or there are some people that you also know that you can work with them. She's a nice person, but she has some... Me, I'm not perfect now. Me too, I have my shortcomings. So my friends know, me too sometimes. But they are willing to work with me because nobody is perfect. We're never going to have perfect friendship. It's impossible. We're going to fight. We're going to quarrel. We're going to have a mission. Why did you say that one now? Or you saw this and you didn't say anything. Why?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. It's already getting so hot and we're only just starting. Thank you. You touched on something, and because I have people from like other religion, Muslims specifically, watch me, that's why I want to say this as well. This is a free space. Team Solutions, like, we'll hold it down here, right? And you said like that God factor, like most friendships, there has to be like that spiritual, you know, okay, at least you have peace about it. So are you saying like, or do you mean, or what is your view towards like being besties with people from other religion, or having like a friendship connection around or with people who are like, say, Christian or Muslim relationship?
I think that it is possible. It is very, very possible. And you need a lot of wisdom, right? Because we believe two different things, which doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot get along. So you can decide that, you know what, I want to be friends with this person. And then you love each other, you share things in common, but that factor is different. I believe that you can be friends with them. I think it's a personal preference to decide, you know what, I don't want to, because you know somehow the heart loves what it loves. You know what I mean? And I think is for me, most of my close friends, and all of my
share
close
the same
friends,
faith with you.
share the same faith with me. However, I do have some friends as well in Canada, right, who are not Christians, but we still vibe. When I come, we hang out, we go for lunch, we go for dinner. You know, I talk to them on the phone. But there are just some things that I feel like, because of the type of person that I am, and I'm very passionate about God. I'm not saying that this is just me personally. I'm very, very passionate, and that kind of spills out into everything that I do. So there are sometimes that there's some conversations that we might not be able to have, and so that kind of determines their closeness to me, right? So the people in my core are my first group of friends, like my besties, right? And then those other people are on the next. But that's just because of my faith, and that's just my personal, because of the type of person that I am.
You are. Okay, so what I get from that is also like varies from person to person. There are no principles about it. What comes to mind for me is the same way someone says, oh, I love this man, he loves me back, but he's had a child before. You know, I'm like, there is nothing wrong in being a bonus mom or a stepmom, but you have to also know what you're getting into.
Exactly.
You can't just go into it as if you're going into a boy meet girl relationship, right? So just be aware of what you're getting into, because it's funny, because one of the most beautiful friendships I've ever had in this life is actually with a Muslim, right? But again, personality differs, because I don't think I am more involved in friendships the way you are. Like, I've never sat down somewhere and called someone my soulmate as a friend, you know. So I know where you are. I honestly know where you are, and I appreciate your honesty. However, I know that you probably maybe didn't land here all of a sudden, right? Or maybe just by navigating this friendship life that you know how to do so well. Have you had like any remarkable friendship hurts?
Of course.
And how has that now translated into your view of friendships? because this is where I'm going. Like, you see how, and I'm going to relate this with relationships a lot, because I mean that's what we're talking about here, just with the same gender. You see how people get so hurt. Maybe you gave your best, which I think is my scenario, to be honest. When I dig deep, maybe you gave your best to a friendship, like you were like blood is, this is blood, literally, right? And then people do that in relationships, and then the man turns around to break their heart, and then they're like, never again. Yes, I still believe in love, I'm going to get married, but I'm going to hide this part of myself. I find out that it's very hard to now go into other friendships,
very key.
Yeah, so
very,
for
very
you, if you've had that, how are you able to still reach out to people and offer hands of friendships, or still be like vulnerable in your friendships?
I think it's important to first note that in your lifetime, you will chop friendship breakfast. I think it's important to note that
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You chop breakfast as in friendships. But another thing I would like to say is, I view your friendships mirror, in my opinion, your relationship with God.
Okay.
So, have I had those times? Yes, I've had quite a few fallouts. Right, there are fallouts that in me I have initiated. So let's start there.
Okay.
Not that it was done to me, I did it. For me, I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. I am free-spirited, and I give many chances. But I feel like if we've had certain conversations and I say I don't like XYZ, and you keep doing it, and you know that that's breaking my heart, I cannot continue in that friendship. I can't. So that was the one I said, please, I'm not doing again. In fact, I was very brutal.
Wow.
I had that conversation. I had the last conversation, and I said, I don't like that you did this to me.
Was it virtual or face to face?
No, it was on the phone.
Okay.
Because at this point I was in Canada, she was in Nigeria.
Okay.
I don't like that you did this to me, and she was still whatever. This is very bad thing happened though, and I just said, you know what? After that conversation, I deleted her number. I deleted her on BBM.
Okay.
I deleted her on Facebook.
Okay. Wow.
I deleted her everywhere because I was hurt and I was pained. And I said, this is someone that has done this to me over the years. I can't continue like this. I can't keep putting my heart on the line for you.
So patterns.
Exactly. So knowing that she's not going to change. And the thing that she did to me was very, very bad. It was not a small thing. Because for the kind of person I am, if you apologize to me, mostly I will let it go. Right? But this one, I said, she was not remorse about it. I said, out. I broke it up.
Wow.
There are times where sometimes I do spring cleaning in my friendships.
Okay. I've never heard that before.
2014.
I hope you're taking notes.
I did spring cleaning. I removed some people from my life. I did it. So those people chop breakfast because of from me. However, have I chopped breakfast from people? Oh yes, I have. Right? But one thing that I always do is I always make sure that my heart is 100%, maybe not 100%, but it's pure, in a good place before God. So I want to know, did I wrong you? Did I do something? Yes, you did something. What did I do? Sometimes people don't even want to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But there's something called biblical reconciliation. And what is biblical reconciliation? Is the Bible was talking about in the Gospels. It says, if your brother has something against you, he says, not that you even have something against the brother. You know that the brother has something against you. Drop your offering. Go and make peace.
First. Wow.
That's what is in the Bible. So it's really a tall call to be a Christian. It's supposed to keep your heart right. And that's what friendships do. It's like sandpaper. It is perfecting you till you become the image of his son. And so I go and meet that friend and say, did I offend you? No pride. Again, we allow pride get in the way of so many things. But I always tell myself that Boomi is not going to kill you. One time, my bestie, we had a big fight. Big one.
I'm calling you out.
Big one. I was at fault. And she was just like, you know what? It's very possible that she has also been giving me a lot of allowances. Boomi is busy. Boomi is... But that one, she was like, you know what? Nah. Boomi is over. I was like, me, I wanted to die. I wanted to die. Honestly, I was grieving. I'm not kidding. I lost weight, I lost weight. I'm sure she people even knows it. I wasn't eating. I couldn't sleep. I became sick. I'm not joking. And so I had to go and meet her. Several months passed too, because she held this one like she held my neck like you. She was done, right? However, me, I was like, I knew that I was wrong. I begged her, whatever. But after a while, I said, I'm not going to let pride
come in the way
and say, I beg. There are so many people in this life. There are some people that are irreplaceable, and my bestie is irreplaceable. I cannot find somebody like her again. It's not possible. I don't even want to find it.
These are like strong words you're saying. Like,
it's true. I can't. We've been friends since 2007. And we've been through a lot together. I'm not ready to throw away the things that we have gone through together. I'm not.
Okay, so let me stop you right there. Now, you see this, and I like that you brought it here, right? You see this kind of like God-ordained friendship you have with your bestie. Imagine that, like you said, you wronged her, she has wronged you, right? So imagine that she does something to you, right? Or let's even say when you wronged her and then she was like, no, I'm not letting you back in, I'm done. You're calling her for like days, she's not picking. One way the friendship goes down the drain.
This is where I was going to biblical reconciliation. What does the Bible say? Talk to the person doesn't answer you. Go and call this person and say, help us. So this is happening. I did it. If they don't answer, gather these people.
Elders in the church.
Let's go. Because it is pride that makes us not to do that. And it's also pride to just feel like, you know what? I beg you. I'll find another person. But sometimes, even after you do that, the person will still say, the person can decide. It doesn't always end well. That it ended well for me, that she accepted me back, doesn't mean that everyone will accept you back, right? So, but you know that you have done, you know when the Bible says that having done all to stand, having done all, you have to make sure and know that you've done all. And then you can beat your chest and say, because when we stand before God, we're going to give account of every single thing that we've done. And that's what's always in my head when I'm thinking about where I treat people, right? So when I stand before God, I'm going to say, okay, well, so what happened here? I say, I was doing buga. I was too prideful. And then I miss out on a lifetime of amazingness because of my pride.
Now, since we're here, let me ask you this. Is it always pride though? That's my question.
I don't think so. I don't think it's always pride.
Yeah,
I think sometimes it's just like, you know what? I don't have what it takes to fight.
Thank you. Okay. That makes me feel good.
Sometimes you may know deep down that the person is not worth fighting for.
Thank you. Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes that's the truth, and it may sound funny for me to say it because everyone is worth it. But in my life, sometimes that person is not worth fighting for.
Not the issue. Not like you're focusing so much on the issue.
But you know that it's very possible.
Holistically.
You will meet this thing in front again, and it may even be worse. I don't know that I even have the capacity to deal or to even carry this thing again. You know?
Okay.
But tying it back to that question that you asked is, does it affect? It can affect. It can affect your relationships moving forward, because when things like that happen, you can build up a wall where you say, I'm not going to allow this amount of because there's intimacy in friendship. This amount of intimacy in, I'm going to leave you at the outer courts. You're not going to come into the holies of holies, right? Because I don't want you to hurt me. Right?
I'm protecting my heart.
So you say this is how far you can come in. But I think it's also important that when you have a friendship breakup, you go and submit your heart to God. I've done that before. To say, this has happened and I don't want this to leave any sort of residue in my heart and make my, because our heart is actually all that matters. It says out of your heart flows the issues of life.
Yeah.
It says guard your heart with all diligence, and this is part of it. And so because I want to enjoy the fullness of life and I don't want to behold tightening the word to my chest, right? I go and submit my heart before God and I say, God, and sometimes it's not like God heals it immediately. Sometimes it takes time. It takes time. It takes submitting your heart every time. Say, why do I still feel like this? And just forgiveness.
That you literally took it out of my mouth.
Just forgiving the person to say, I forgive you for the wrong that you've done to us. Sometimes you may not even have that conversation with the person, but you just tell yourself, you know what? So you just say, I release you in my heart, and you just allow God to just do the work in you. And even when you feel like you may see the person or something, sometimes you may not even know how to act, but just be you. Me, I will shall hug you. It'll be okay.
Awkward.
Very, very, and it's painful. It always makes it afresh. But you will know when God has fully
released you.
Yes. And sometimes it's okay to cry. It's okay to even distance yourself from some people. It is.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll come to that part.
Okay.
But I just want to quickly also tie it back to what you just said, right? So when about like making new friendships, right? Now there are a lot of us with my chest. It's not the best, but there are a lot of us that like I feel like at least I've accepted it now. Like holding on to past thoughts is the reason like we're afraid to embrace new friendships. I want you to like encourage us.
Okay. So I think it's important to note that no one is perfect. The same way you're not perfect. You're going to meet people who are not perfect. But understanding that love is the command and I'm going to put in my best to this relationship. I'm not saying that it's also sometimes you always want to always get something back. Right? So let's not have that.
What can I get from this
relationship? It needs to be transactional, right? But just saying, I just like this person and I'm going to be intentional about it. And I know people have done you hurt. People have done bad things to you. People have said wrong things to you. I have just, called back up into your shell to say, but I'm saying take a chance again. Take a chance. But of course you're wiser. You're wiser. You should be able now to note certain things, certain behavior, certain patterns. There's some people that you will say you have conversations when things happen, communicate. Just like if you were in a marriage or a relationship, friendship is the same thing. You need to communicate to say, some people don't even know that some certain things that they're doing are hurting you, but you're there sulking and being upset and talking to everybody else but the person to say, I'm sad that you said XYZ. So people are like, oh my goodness, are you serious? I said that. I mean, sometimes somebody said I said something. Okay, somebody might call. I was just making a joke, and she took it the wrong way, and she was like, oh no, Boomi, I'm not happy that you said. And she called me immediately. She said, Boomi, I'm not happy that you said that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that would hurt you. It's a different case if she now decided that, I'm not going to say this Boomi girl talks anyhow. Yeah. She just talks. She's just talking anyhow. She's just abusing me, abusing my family. Meanwhile, I'm of a different orientation. Yeah. Like my friends, like they will say, Boomi is just being a Canadian. There are certain things that I do sometimes that another person will take as an offense. So people just leave Boomi. Boomi is just being a Canadian right now. Right? So they've come to understand over time. So it's the same thing, like I said in the beginning. You need to study people and know that, and communicate and know that, maybe this person is just different from me. Maybe they process different things different from me, and I can give you a chance. I can give you a chance in my life, and you're going to make sure. I'm giving you a chance, and I'm just like, I'm giving you a chance. I'm still watching you, but be arms wide open. Embrace people. Just embrace and then just enjoy that friendship and that fellowship.
Yeah. Now that you're talking about it, to be fair, I had a friendship that almost like disappeared. I would say like we almost lost what we had just because all of these things are flying in the air. But with what you said, I'm so happy we fought for that friendship, because now it's like,
I'm sure it was just like communication.
Yes, it was basically. But then I've also had friendships that like
you communicate and still
and that's why I'm like, what do you have to? And I appreciate everything you said to us. Like, go into it with a renewed mind, to say that, okay, even if this person did this to me, maybe I won't meet it in the future.
Exactly. And I always say that always also be the friend that you want. So you want people to check on you, check on them. You want people to buy gifts for you, buy gifts for them. You know, you want people to take care, take them out. It's not always what I
can get from the friendship.
It's how can I serve? How can I serve you, Tolu? How can I help you? Or your friend just had a baby, as opposed to just going to go and greet her
and complain that she didn't let you carry the baby.
Do you understand? Say there's plates in the sink. She just had a baby. Go and wash the plates. You can see that this
address that you're on, we can stay there forever.
Clean the floor.
Don't just say bring the baby there.
Exactly.
The person that is just recovering will now go and look for food for you.
Do you understand? Serve.
Yeah.
You find that when you serve people, most likely they serve you back.
Yeah. So in most cases, it's always like who serves first.
And the same way the Bible talks about how, you know, outdo each other in love. It's not only about marriage. It's about different relationships. I want to outdo you in love, in service. I want to help you, you know.
So someone is watching and probably thinking, okay, so there's someone that you guys are bringing so close to home. You're letting this person's name come back in my mind, but I've let go of that friendship. Like, both of us don't talk anymore. We've like said our goodbyes, even though there was no closure. And I feel like some friendships are just like, you know what, we're not working. Peace, bye. Just like relationships, right?
Yeah.
But someone is thinking of someone that it ended badly, literally. Do you think it is always a good idea to like
reach out?
Yeah, reinitiate a friendship, and if so, what's the best way you think one can go about it?
I think that there's no issue reinitiating again. I have done it before. I've had a fallout with a friend who we didn't talk for a year. Even over a year, right? And one morning I was just in my bathroom and the Holy Spirit talked to me the other day, and the Holy Spirit just brought her to my remembrance and said, you should reach out to her. And I was like, you've not spoken in over a year, like that friendship is gone, it's dead.
But did it just like die based on we stopped checking up on each other?
No,
there was an issue.
There was an issue.
Okay.
There was an issue and it died.
And
she didn't really want to talk about it.
Okay.
She was that person. She's that kind of person that she's just like, just leave me, just leave me alone. And I reached out. The first time I reached out, she didn't respond. Actually, no, she responded. Okay. And she knows who she is. Because she will watch this. She responded and she was like, "Why are you calling me?" She actually called the phone on me.
Oh my goodness, Boomi, you have so much patience and grace for friendship.
Hey!
After you reached out,
she called the phone on me. And then I was just like, hey, what kind of thing is this? And then I don't know, I feel like God just gives me grace, I guess. And then I reached out again, maybe like 2 weeks later. And we actually had a conversation. And I said, you know what? I'm going to come and see you. And I went to go and see her.
Wow.
And I wouldn't even say that we even spoke. We didn't even speak about what happened. But I could tell that she had missed me. So when I got there, she was just like, you know, because I think for her, it kind of felt like, I'm worth it.
Or was it because you were persistent, do you think?
I think so too. I think it's because I was persistent. If I wasn't persistent, that friendship would have ended, right? So I think there's also nothing wrong with you being the one that's persistent.
Open my head now and tell me.
There's nothing wrong with you being the one that's persistent.
If you want to talk to me direct. Okay.
Right? So, and then we had a very good conversation that day. And I went ahead to patronize her business and stuff like that. And we moved on from there. And honestly, it's not like we are besties, but we are friends.
Okay, so that takes me to the next thing I was going to ask you actually, that when you reconcile or reinitiate a friendship, do you think it is wise to create boundaries, or do you also give it time? Do you allow, like, what's the
I think it's important. I think it's important to give it time, but I think it's also important to, because sometimes there are no formulas to this thing.
Yeah, because you don't want to force it, but at the same time you're letting time go.
Exactly, and you also don't want to be, you know. I think it's just allowing you to be you. For some people, they're just like, I miss you so much. XYZ happened. They like me when my best friend came back together. She was like, this happened. It was like diarrhea. She was just pouring everything on me. I mean, the next day she was just downloading everything that happened, that I missed, and me too, and this happened, and Teshi, and Tony, and they show me picture. What happened here? What happened there?
You're destined to be besties.
Yes, but there's some people who, you know, that happens, and it's not automatic. Sometimes it takes time. Where, okay, let's have lunch, and then over lunch, you talk, and you may not talk until the next week. but it's okay. And with time,
and it might be awkward.
Organic is good. Yes, you'll be awkward. It not even might be.
That was what happened. Like, we actually went out for
awkward.
lunch, and it was so awkward. We tried to like pick it up from where we started from, but it was so
to be awkward. It will definitely be awkward. But it's just like the more you nourish it, the more you water it, that awkwardness just kind of breaks. And there'll be just one day that there'll just be like a breakthrough, and everything will just begin to flow. You know. So that's just it.
Wow. Thank you. You're actually really giving it to us the way it should. Thank you. One thing that I can see in all of the way you approach friendships also is a lot of humility, because yes, it's not only pride that can like hold you back. You might be protecting your heart and everything you said, but it also takes a humble person to be persistent, to want a relationship with a female friend when there are like so many other female friends that I can have, you know, and still keep saying there was something here and pursuing it and I won't stop. That takes a lot of humility. So God bless your heart for being humble.
Thank you, Jesus.
So at this point, actually, I think it's imperative that we do a part 2. So you guys look out for part 2 and subscribe. We'll be back with the second part of this video.